Yes, we have organic chemistry, and so far we have reached what we call polymerization. And we said in this polymerization is simply the process by which these polymers themselves are being formed from what we call the monomers themselves. But we also went further and said in this polymerization is just a process which can be divided into two. And we say we have addition polymerization and we have what we call condensation polymerization. So we are still in addition polymerization, and we say in addition polymerization is just a type of polymerization whereby monomers which are unsaturated in nature. So when we say unsaturated, that means they have either triple or double bonds. So when they combine together, they will form what we call a product, and that product has no other products which are formed, like no other product which are formed. That's why we are calling it addition. So that product which is going to be formed is what we call a single product. So that is what we said about addition polymerization. And after us knowing that, we shall also go and look at what we call condensation polymerization, where we shall see what type of monomers can combine to form those monomers. So now let's focus on this addition polymerization. But also we say that these polymers, they can be classified as natural and artificial. So we say for natural polymers, we also have what called fibers. By fibers, we are saying they are also form of polymers that for them, they cannot easily like be stretched, but these other form of polymers, like you can stretch them, all those other things. So we said for polymers and fibers, they can also be natural or artificial. So when you say natural, that means those are the ones which can occur in nature. And the best example we were giving were those of proteins, where we say proteins are polymers, or and they are being formed from monomers, amino acids. We talk about this one. We talk about these things which are being formed from uh, glucose, especially the alpha glucose, and we say those one they are what we call the starch, and we also have glycogens and the rest. But also we say that there are others which can be synthetic. That means they can be man-made. And we say that those ones which are man-made are those ones specifically whereby you looked at examples such as polythenes, and we're giving an example of a polythene bag. We also look at other things like polychloro, I think something of that kind. Now, today we are going to look further at this in this addition polymerization in detail, and we shall be in position to see different types of products which are being formed under addition polymerization. So here we are saying this one they are in different class, and their properties may be modified by addition of plasticizers. Plasticizers those are substances which in actual sense they can like improve the properties of a certain substance. But here we say this process, this produces soft and easy work on materials. Of course, here we need a process that we're going to talk about them down here, molding and remolding. So as other materials can also like fillers. These fillers they can be added. Why? Reason is just for us to increase the bulkiness of the materials we want to work on them. And at the end of the day, you'll be in position to see that these plastics which are produced, they have different colors. So that means dyes are also added for desired colors. That's why when you go to the market, you'll be in position to say, for me, I'm going to buy a plastics, maybe plastic basins, but I'm going to buy the one which is green, another one is blue, another one is red. So this is where these things are added. I was very clear that we are in what we call applied chemistry. Then we say there are two types of plastics, and the plastics We have what we call thermosetting plastics and this one, thermosoftening plastics. Now for thermosetting plastics, these are kind of plastics that during polymerization, which we say the process by which these polymers are formed from monomers, during this polymerization, for thermosetting plastics, they cannot be remolded. Like after you producing that plastics and you try like to work on it again, it will break, or it will, like, you cannot try to make another formed from it. So no remolding. Why? Because they have what we call cross linkages. No remolding because they have cross linkages. So you'll be in position to see those linkages like this, like this. So making it very, 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 very hard. And I can say it, the best example could be this one here. So the moment you try to maybe put it in another format, it cannot. Now let's look at this example where we said we have the backlight, and that is the best example of what we call the thermosetting plastic. Now, when we look at what we call thermosoftenings, those one like the polythene bag, you can get it and try maybe to at least heat it and you make it to be in another form. But those are the hard one. You cannot do that. So this thermosoftening plastics, this becomes soft when heated, of course, and can be remolded. Why? Because the difference, or the difference is that this other one of thermosetting plastics, they have these cross linkages. Uh, okay, let's say it within that molecules, but for this one they are linear. So that means you will see them like this. They're just linear in nature, and that's why you can be in position to soften them by heating, and at the end of the day, you'll be in position to design another plastics that out of those very plastics. Now, after us knowing this thing very well, we have known the difference between thermosetting plastic and thermosoftening plastics. We shall be in position to look at what we call the natural rubber.